Welcome into the Week 6 recap. Alright, before we get into redraft, we have a trade to announce. Just coming through this morning. Trade in redraft. No pun intended, receives Adam Thielen. And Bills Mafia receives Josh Dobbs, Jerry Jeudy, and $10 in fab. As always, we will start with redraft. The Stoners 4-2 defeats Bills Mafia 2-4, 154.42 to 121.38. Raheem Mostert just doesn't stop. The Dolphins running back rumbles for 115 yards and 3 total trips to the end zone on his way to 33.72 points. The Stoners used that to their advantage, cruising to the easy win over Bills Mafia, who falls to 2-4. Kyron Williams also had himself a day, racking up 23.6 points in the Rams' 26-9 win over Arizona. The Stoners remain undefeated against Bills Mafia, securing wins in each of their 3 all-time matchups. Gumpy Glizzy's 4-2 defeats the Red Carpets 1-5, 143.56 to 103.7. Gumpy Glizzy's tallies another solid week, this time adding to the Red Carpets' ever-growing loss column. Miami wide receivers Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle combined for an impressive 39.34 points en route to the win. The Red Carpets will look to bounce back next week against Bills Mafia to try and stay in the conversation for the conference tournament. No pun intended, 4-2 defeats Nico's League 2-4, 86.5 to 74.9. It seems like it happens way more often than it should. No pun intended takes down Nico's League despite scoring the second lowest amount of points this week. In redraft history, this is the 11th time the second lowest scoring team has won out of 348 total regular season games. The last time this happened was exactly 1 year ago in Week 6, when Steel Curtain beat Gumpy Glizzy's 100.72 to 97.98. This storied rivalry between No Pun Intended and Nico's League is one of the more lopsided matchups in league history. This is No Pun Intended's 10th win in 11 matchups, with Nico's League's only win being Week 8 of 2021. Washington Rednecks 2-4 defeats Scoop the Delinquent 3-3, 113.4 to 113.06. We have a big brain strategy play alert this week from the Washington Rednecks. Sunday Night Football saw the Bills take on the Giants, and Josh Allen and James Cook play for each the Washington Rednecks and Scoop the Delinquent. Though the Rednecks had CeeDee Lamb to go, the Sunday night game ended with the Rednecks in the lead by a very slim 0.34 point margin. Excluding the extremely rare stat correction, the Rednecks had the game locked up. Instead of risking a catastrophic negative point total from CeeDee Lamb, the Rednecks benched Lamb and left their last wide receiver spot completely empty, securing the win. Though the Rednecks did lock in their second win of the season, the benching of Lamb did come at a cost. Lamb would have produced enough points to eclipse Bills Mafia's total this week and give the Rednecks an extra win in the tiebreaker record. Was the chance Lamb went negative great enough to justify an extra loss in the tiebreaker record? Only time will tell. This game goes down as the 5th closest game in league history. This isn't quite the Rednecks' closest game ever, though, as we all vividly remember their 0.01 point win over Bills Mafia in the 2018 last place game. Steel Curtain 4-2 defeats Leftist Tears 4-2, 104.34 to 101.16. After extremely poor performances from Leftist Tears Russell Wilson and Joe Mixon, Steel Curtain needed 34.1 points from the Justin Herbert-Keenan Allen connection on Monday night. Connect they did for 85 yards, 4 first downs, and a touchdown to go along with another touchdown of Herbert's own. They ended up with 37.28 combined points, clearing the margin needed by 3.18 points. This is the 4th closest game this season, but only the 2nd closest game between these two franchises all time, the closest being back in 2021, Week 11, when a 0.02 point Leftist Tears victory solidified the 2nd closest matchup in league history. Our Week 7 redraft power rankings. As always, starting from the bottom, moving down 1 spot at number 10, Nico's League. At number 9, moving up 1 spot, the Red Carpets. At number 8, staying put, Bills Mafia. At number 7, staying put, the Washington Rednecks. At number 6, staying put, No Pun Intended. At number 5, moving down 1 spot, Steel Curtain. At number 4, moving up 1 spot, the Stoners. At number 3, staying put, Scoop the Delinquent. At number 2, moving down 1 spot, Leftist Tears. And reoccupying the number 1 spot, moving up 1 spot to do so, is Gumpy Glizzies. Our Week 7 game of the week is Leftist Cheers 4-2 versus Gumpy Glizzies 4-2. This could be a powerhouse matchup, and one of these teams will have to increase to 5 wins. Control of the league standings is at stake in this one. Alright, let's go into Dynasty. Stratton Oakmont Inc. 4-2 defeats Nico's Dream Team 2-4, 157.24 to 118.64. Stratton Oakmont Inc. didn't have to think twice about this one, as Raheem Mostert, Adam Thielen, and Kyron Williams combined for 78.5 points and contribute nearly half of Stratton Oakmont's total points this week. This is Stratton Oakmont's largest win over Nico's Dream Team, breaking the tie and winning their 3rd game in 5 all-time matchups. Sneeze Raccoon 74 4-2 defeats Cumber Dynasty 3-3, 133.32 to 92.96. Keeping on the topic of blowouts, Sneezy Raccoon 74 completes their own of the sort, dismantling Cumber Dynasty by 40.36 points. Sneezy Raccoon 74 was carried by Tua Tagovailoa's 23.88 points and Amon-Ra St. Brown's 21.9 points in their respective team wins. This is also Sneezy Raccoon's largest ever win over Cumber Dynasty, with their last double-digit win being their very first matchup in Week 6 of the inaugural 2020 season. I Am They 2-4 defeats the Scoob Empire 2-4, 113.22 to 88.1. In this low-scoring affair, I Am They slowly creeps past the Scoob Empire to pick up their 2nd win of the season. Not a single player in this entire matchup cracked the 20-point mark, a testament to the relatively low-scoring fantasy week the NFL saw compared to others this year. This win from I Am They evens the all-time series at 4 games apiece. Gump Dynasty 4-2 defeats Prestige Worldwide 3-2, 120.74 to 102.34. Prestige Worldwide falls to Gump Dynasty despite having the only 2 players in the matchup that cracked the 20-point mark. Tyreek Hill's 25.3 and Cooper Kupp's 23.3 weren't enough to topple Gump Dynasty, who had a very nice running back performance from Derrick Henry, Brian Robinson, and Kenneth Walker. This is Gump Dynasty's 2nd win all-time in 7 total matchups, and also their largest win of the 2. Our Week 7 Dynasty Power Rankings, starting from the bottom at number 8, not moving, I Am They. At number 7, staying put, Nico's Dream Team. At number 6, not moving, the Scoob Empire. At number 5, not moving, Prestige Worldwide. At number 4, moving down 1 spot, Cumber Dynasty. At number 3, moving up 1 spot, Stratton Oakmont Inc. At number 2, staying put, Gump Dynasty. And remaining in the number 1 spot, Sneezy Raccoon 74. Our Week 7 game of the week is Cumber Dynasty 3-3 versus I Am They 2-4. I Am They will catch a break against this powerhouse, as Cumber Dynasty will be Joe Burrow-less for the Week 7 matchup. Josh Allen also has an injury designation that we'll keep a close eye on throughout the week. All right, before we move on here, I want to give an update on the PDF recaps, as there's a new section that I want to explain. So this section is the records versus other team schedules section, and it's shown in a grid, as you can see here. Your team is on the left, so down this left column is your team, and then the corresponding team is across the top here, just the abbreviations of those teams. And in each cell is the record that you would have if you played against the other team's schedule. This does not count 50-50 weeks or games where you played each other. So those are kept the same in the calculations. And also the record in orange is your actual record. As you can tell, it merges at like Nico's League here and Nico's League here, and that is Nico's League actual record. This is obviously for Week 5. They'll be different for the PDF recap coming up here in Week 6. But as an example, like say we go down to here, Bills Mafia is 2-3, as you can see in orange. But if they were to have played against Nico's League's schedule here, Bills Mafia would be 1-4 and not 2-3. But if they were to have played against the Washington Redneck schedule, they would be 3-2 and not 2-3. So you can kind of see the discrepancy in schedules there. See what's going on now. If Bills Mafia had played the Washington Rednecks and won, that win would be calculated in the win total as a normal game. So, because you can't play yourself, the schedule. If you were to play yourself, you would tie. So you can't do that. So those games are unchanged, and the 50-50 weeks are also unchanged when we get around to those. So yeah, newest section in the PDF recap. Check it out. It'll update every week. All right. Moving to the Idle League. So this league makes absolutely no sense, and there are multiple examples from this week. So, Exhibit A. Chad's Personal Shop Vac takes their second straight loss, this time to Red Riders. This loss is despite scoring 152.26 points, which is the second highest total this week. If they play anyone else, they find another win. Exhibit B. Influence Driving gets a much-needed extra tally in the win column, but it wasn't for a lack of trying to lose. They only scored 91 points, making them the lowest-scoring team to pull a win this season. It was the third lowest score of the week. Exhibit C. Bucknuts, not surprisingly, gets shafted by the fantasy gods once again. Starting 9th-round pick Justin Tucker would have won them the game, instead opting for Brandon Aubrey, who couldn't get the 12.7 points needed to surpass Death and get the victory. Bucknuts once again scores in the top half this week, marking the fourth time they've done so in 6 weeks. Bucknuts is 1-5, but would be 4-2 if every week was a 50-50 week. Exhibit D. CeeDee Lamb apparently can't find his way in the end zone, being tackled just before hitting pay dirt on 2 separate occasions. If Lamb would have gained those few extra yards to the goal line just 1 out of those 2 times, Slower Ponies would have walked away with a win. Instead, the Fudge Packers are somehow 4-2. And finally, Exhibit E of why this league makes absolutely no sense. United States Postal Service has 5 wins. That is 5 too many. Our Week 7 Idle League Power Rankings. Starting at the bottom, not moving, and number 10, Death. At number 9, not moving, Influence Driving. At number 8, not moving, Fudge Packers. At number 7, staying put, Red Riders. At number 6, moving down 2 spots, East Savages. At number 5, staying put, Bucknuts. At number 4, moving up 2 spots, United States Postal Service. At number 3, staying put, Show Them TDs. At number 2, not moving, Slower Ponies. And at number 1, remaining in the top spot, Chad's Personal Shop Vac. All right, everyone. Thanks for listening to the weekly recap. Go ahead and check out that PDF recap for this week, and we will see you next week.